Hello everyone, I'm Beryllium7 and I am here to tell you about user input in C++. Sounds fun. Now, what user input is, well, as you can see, I already fixed up an ordinary program template and I named it cin.cpp. What user input is, it is basically the opposite of output. What output is this technical way of saying displaying stuff into that little black box. Now, with user input, it doesn't display stuff. No, it does something a lot more fun. It allows the user to define stuff for him or herself. So instead of the programmer telling the program what the variables are in the source code, like that, x=0 and stuff, we allow the user of the black box to define the variables for himself. That's basically, in a nutshell, allowing someone to type something in. Well, let's get started. We're going to start by declaring a new variable. We'll call it, let's say, age. And then we're going to do something a little bit tricky. cin age. Now you remember from cout. And you recognize these two little caret thingies. Well, in cout they are less than signs, and in cin there are two more than signs, greater than signs. So it's actually the exact opposite of cout. Now you might notice if you take out the c in cin and cout, it's just in and out. And if you took out the c, let's just say, took out the c in both these statements, and added put to both the ends of both statements, that looks pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. Input and output. Output being cout and input being cin. Now, as you know, cout displays stuff on the screen, and cin does the opposite. It takes what the user typed in and loads it into the variables. So if the user typed in 0, then age would now equal 0. If the user typed in 50 billion, then age would equal 50 billion, in theory. Yeah, now, I'm going to start having a little bit more fun with this program. For instance, I'm going to put this. Type in your age. Now, there, type in your age. Now, you'll notice for this cout statement, it's a little bit different than normal cout statements because it does not have the end L at the end of the statement. Like that. You don't know what that means. It means move to the next line. What that means is it will not move to the next line before it operates the cin, the input, which means it will display this on the screen, then not skip to the next line, and a small cursor will appear on the screen, allowing the user to type something in, right on top of this. It does not mean that age will equal type in your age 10. It just means it'll display this. Now we'll have a little bit more fun. We are going to declare a new variable called agex. And we will allow, first we will display, type in your father's age, there, and we will say cin agex. Now, what that means is basically the same thing as this. It will display your type in your father's age, and it will allow the person to define the variable agex. Then it will say your father is, then, and of course, you know, we can put a lot of things on one line. Father is, let's just say, age x divided by age. Hopefully all of you understand that algorithm. Hang on. There we go. Now, basically, I'm first of all displaying your father is, then agex divided by age, which is division, as you all know, then times older than you. That is pretty self-explanatory right there. Now, The thing about cin is there are lots of fun things you can do with it. Here, I'll just follow along with this program. Type in your age, 13. And let's make it 14 just for fun. Type in your father age. I'm not going to type in his real age for his sake, because trust me, he really doesn't look his age. So, I'm just going to type in randomly 76, not his real age. My father apparently is 5 times older than I am. Holy cows. It's kind of an interesting program, but realize that 76 divided by 14 is not, by any measure, 5. It is crazy decimal, but again, it just drops the decimals off of integers, so you have to be careful about that. Now, as I was saying, cin has some fun stuff. It is called an object, which is crazy, and you will be learning about that way later. Really advanced stuff. That kind of means that you can do fun stuff with it. For instance, you can check if there was an error. For instance, you added some crazy extra character in your number, which will make the program go crazy. And you can set up a lot of cool stuff to detect if there are any errors in cin, if everything's running smoothly and stuff like that. But for now, I will just teach you about the basics of cin, which is this. That's all you need to know about cinning, and yeah, cin is actually very important, because without it, then the program will either randomize the numbers that is used in the program, or will do the same thing over and over again, with no variables that are unknown to the user of the program. Now the user can define its own variables and play with a lot cooler programs. So practice up with that, because trust me, all of this stuff does take a whole lot of practice. Be sure to subscribe to Brilliant 7. Live long and prosper, and thank you.